So President Donald Trump a few days ago met with a number of the released hostages, including Eli Sharabi, who he said looked like a Holocaust survivor as he stood on that ridiculous stage with the Hamas terrorists, as he looked utterly emaciated. And clearly now, well, we know, because he's told us about the torture he went through, being tied up, the starvation, how he just gets emotional looking now at a fridge to see a fridge full of food. And President Trump is being asked about, his meeting with them. And he said something that I've actually been saying for a while, and that I think this should give us huge, and any sane, decent person, huge pause for thought, which is, have we found one incident, one testimony of a hostage talking about an act of kindness they saw from a GAZAN? Is there one story that we know of a GAZAN that helped provide information to help rescue a hostage? If not even that, just showing an act of kindness. In the Holocaust, there were something like 30,000 righteous people in Nazi Europe that helped hide Jews, rescue them. We haven't heard one incident of that so far, and that should give us enormous pause for thought. Maybe there are some incidents where the IDF are just, they've been given information, but they are protecting people's identity. We don't know. But one would expect, at the very least, to hear some stories of hostages that, experience a small act of kindness at the very least. And also, I would imagine that if, as Israel promised, they said that, we would help give you, I think, citizenship or move to America or another country if you give us information on a hostage, Israel would probably want to make it an example of that, or at least, even if not publishing the person, who the person is, at least state, yes, we've had some people give us information already, so encouraging others to do the same. But no, we're not hearing any of that, and Trump is noting this. Have a watch.
I was asking, what happened? How was it? I said, did you see anybody in there that was kind, like out of the hundreds of people that you were seeing, Hamas? Did some of them wink at you and say, don't worry, you're going to be okay, or give you a piece of bread, or no? I said, were there any people that were, kind? I was shocked. The answer was nobody. There was nobody. Just the opposite. They'd be slapped and punched. One man broke his ribs. He couldn't breathe for a month. It was brutal. I was so surprised. Did you think there'd be a couple of people that would be kind, that would say, you're going to be okay? But they had none of that. I was asking, what?
Yeah, so as painful as it is to consider this and recognize this, we do need to face this reality, because what happens is, and we're seeing this time and time again, there's this notion in the West that, okay, yeah, there's these Hamas guys and they're not very nice, but the majority of Gazans, they're innocent, they're just want to go about their lives, and they're just really just also victims. The truth is, the uncomfortable truth is that it seems like there is widespread majority support and sympathy for Hamas, for Jew hatred, for anti-Semitism. Now, I've no doubt that a lot of this just comes from indoctrination and brainwashing, and I do believe that people can change. But that can't be Israel's primary job, to try and de-radicalize a foreign population. That's not what any country would be expected to do when dealing with a massive security issue. First, you deal with the security issue, then you can worry about re-education and cooperation and extending your arm. Israel has tried for 100 years to extend their arm in peace, to bring the Arab side to the table, to offer them statehood, autonomy. Everything that they supposedly want has been tried in so many different iterations. And every issue that they lament was caused by their own decisions, their own desire to wipe Israel off the map. Even the Great Nakba they talk about, the catastrophe of 1948, where many Arabs were displaced. People think it's like the Jews came there, kicked them all out, and then they went to war against them. No, no, no. Jews and Arabs were living there peacefully, legally. Having purchased land legally, many of living there for centuries. And the UN said in 1947, right, well, we've got a strong Arab population here and a strong Jewish population living here. They both have claims to the land. So let's just divide it. Let's create a Jewish state and Arab state, and Jews can live in the Arab state and Arabs can live in the Jewish state. The Jews said, great, yes. The Arabs said, no. We're going to go to war against the Jews. And in that war, many were displaced. Many because the Arab armies said to the Arabs, you leave, we're going to throw the Jews into the sea, and then you can come back to your home. But of course, they lost that war, and now that's my fault. But the fundamental point I'm getting at is that we're dealing with a society of widespread Jew hatred and a Palestinian cause, which has never been about self-determination and human rights and statehood. It's been about trying to get rid of the Jewish state. And I think that probably is what is informing Trump's change of position, his new proposal for how to deal with this conflict. Because it seems after 100 years of trying this approach, of just saying, okay, let's indulge this notion that you just want statehood, it's not working because it's based on a lie. So actually, if you can relocate Arabs to another part of the world where they won't feel that they have to be the front of this Arab and Islamic war against the Jewish state, for their sake as well, they'll live in their indigenous homelands, Arab land, in peace. It'll be better for everyone. And Gaza will become, I think in an ideal situation, would become part of Israel. It's the Jewish people have shed blood, sweat and tears over this land. And on every front, historically, legally, biblically, this belongs to the Jewish people. So the truth always tends to out in the end. Things become clearer and clearer. It's just a question of whether your eyes are open. And certainly, if you listen to the hostages' testimonies, your eyes will be opened. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.